How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Kuf Tezav. Daf Kuf Tezav. Well, it's not really accurate. Daf Kuf Tezayin. What am I up to? Yeah, I don't know. Daf Kuf Tezayin, Daf 116 of Masechta BavaBasra, friends. Yo, friends, it's 5 a.m. The people out in the park, the Machen Lebedik, they're having a great time. I've been up since for several good hours. I've had my noise-canceling headphones in the whole time. They're mamish, as the Shulchan Aruch says, Tov Lev Mishte Tomid. Yeah, it's a good heart to always be partying, and Baruch Hashem, the people out in the park, Makayim Nis Halacha, Mahajim and Mahajin, and as we like to say here on Babylon Talmud, Al Menaskein Inchil Yoshua L'Yisrael Esaretz. And Chevre, let me tell you, this is Poshet. We're learning Yesh Noichal. Azoy, we're learning BavaBasra, Perek Yesh Noichal. What is this? Al Menaskein Inchil Yoshua L'Yisrael Esaretz. No, we're Poshet. Today we're gonna get up to the Mishnah that we're gonna learn tomorrow about Bnos Tzlafchad, and why they wanted to get the inheritance of their father when they came into Eretz Yisrael, and Yoshua was dividing up Eretz Yisrael. They divided up Eretz Yisrael so that the people in the park can have a good time, and then the people in their homes have to. Let's go weiter. All right. It's 5 a.m, so I have coffee. Chaim. Okay, let's go weiter. All right. Baruch Hashem for noise cancelling headphones. Changed my life and changed your lives too. Because you know why. I'm asking in Okay. Kuf Tezayin Amud Aleph. About 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that lines in. Amar Rabbi Yechanan Mishum Reb Shimon ben Yechoy. Says Reb Yechanan in the name of Reb Shimon ben Yechoy. There's an interesting Rashbam here, but apparently people take issue with it. Where is this Rashbam? No, Rashbam, where are you? Rashbam, where am I? I don't know. What? Tomer Vito? What? I don't know. What? Was there not a Rashbam here? I don't know. Maybe it was somewhere else and I missed it. Alright, Al Koponim, let's go weiter. Let's go weiter. Wait, what's this? What's that? What's this? Okay, let's go weiter. Okay, so says the Gemara, you should have had plenty of time to find where we are. If a person does not leave a son to inherit him, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mali Olav Evra. So it means that the Rebbeinu Shalom is very upset with this individual. It says by inheritance that you will ha'avartem es nachlasoi. Uchsevasem yom evra hayomahu. It says that a day of wrath is that day. So we see ha'avartem and evra. So just like it's wrath over there, so also a person who does not have someone to bequeath is inheritance to, it means that the Rebbeinu Shalom is upset with that individual. Asher ein chalifois lamoy velo yaru elokim, that there were no exchanges for him, and they did not fear for them, and they did not fear God. Rabbi Yechanan and Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. So we have two opinions here, Rabbi Yechanan and Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Chad Omar kol sheinu maniach ben, v'chad Omar kol sheinu maniach talmud. So one opinion is that when we say that he does not have a replacement and he doesn't fear God, so one opinion is that's talking about someone who does not leave a son, who does not have a child. The other one is someone who does not have any students. Okay, so it doesn't mean he doesn't have any children or he doesn't have any students. If you don't have any children, then you do not fear God, or if you don't have any students, then you do not fear God. I'm going to drink more coffee. Tistam de Yechanan de Omar Talmud. So let us conclude, right? So we saw two opinions here. Excuse me, Mom. Alright. Sorry, Mom. So let us conclude here that it's Rabbi Yechanan who's the one that says that if you do not have any students, so then that's bad. But not having any children, that's okay. Then Rabbi Yechanan, because Rabbi Yechanan says one of the first dafs that we learned together as babblers on daf Hey of Masechta Brachos, that was Beis Gimel Daled Hey, on the fourth day of Babylon Talmud, we learned. Rabbi Yechanan says, Rabbi Yechanan, Dein Garme Dasiro Abir. This is the bone of my 10th child that I lost. So meaning, clearly Rabbi Yechanan lost, I guess probably all of his children, 10 children. So clearly, he didn't have children, he didn't have any children to inherit him. So he wouldn't say that somebody without children to inherit him doesn't fear God, because he didn't have children to inherit him. So it must be that he's the one who says that one who does not fear God is one who does not have any students. Okay, so it must be that Rabbi Yechanan is the one who says that one who does not leave any students does not fear God. But it's okay to not have any children to inherit you. And therefore, if Rabbi Yochanan is the one who says that the concept of not fearing God is by somebody who has no students, so then by process of elimination, Rabbi Shua ben Levi is the one who says someone does not fear God if they have no children to inherit them. So, where am I? So Mamela, Rabbi Shua ben Levi is the one who says somebody does not have a son to inherit him, so then he does not fear God. But Rabbi Shua ben Levi, but that can't be, because Rabbi Shua ben Levi generally Rabbi Shua ben Levi would not go to a shiva house. Whatever he's doing, other things, whatever it might be. But if somebody passed away and did not have any children, then he would pay a shiva visit. The Pasuk says, cry and cry for somebody who goes. It's talking about somebody who goes without any sons. Although there's another guess that says banim, children, I guess. So, if according to Rabbi Shua ben Levi, somebody who dies without children it does not fear God, then why would he make the exception to dafka go pay a shiva visit? So it must be that not having children is completely fine, and not having any students would mean that you are not God-fearing. Okay, so Rabbi Shua ben Levi Udamar Talmud. Okay, so it must be Rabbi Shua ben Levi who says that one who does not have students is not God-fearing. Rabbi Shua ben Levi Udamar Talmud, and if therefore it's Rabbi Shua ben Levi who says that this concept is by somebody who has no students, Rabbi Yochanan Amar Ben. Well, then it must be that Rabbi Yochanan is one who says if you don't have any children to inherit you, so then you do not fear God. But Kashi Rabbi Yochanan, then how could Rabbi Yochanan say that this is the bone of my 10th child? I.e., on the one hand, how can he be saying that he doesn't have any children, and yet at the same time, essentially be calling himself a non-God-fearing person? It depends. He doesn't agree with it, right? When he's saying that somebody who does not have any children to inherit him does not fear God, that wasn't his opinion. That was, he was, right, as we saw, Rabbi Yochanan was quoting Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai earlier, who said, and therefore also we can say he's not a God-fearing person. But Rabbi Yochanan disagreed with it. And when he says this is the bone of my 10th child, and he doesn't have anybody to inherit him, he did not agree that means that he was not God-fearing. More coffee. Rather, Rabbi Yochanan Taka agrees with Rabbi Shua ben Levi that somebody who does not have any children to inherit him is A-okay. Rather, somebody who does not have any students is not God-fearing. Let's go weiter. Simin Hadod Oni V'Chochom Darja Pinchas Ben Choma. Ho. Pinchas Ben Choma Darshan. My Dichsev, what does the pasuk mean? V'Hadod Shama b'Mitzrayim, that Hadod heard in Egypt. Ki shachav David, that David shachaved. Im Avosav, he shachaved with his fathers. V'Chimes Yoav Sar Atzava, and that Yoav died. V'Nema David Nemra bo Shchiva uVyoav Nemra bo Misa. When expressing that David and Yoav each died respectively, it describes David's death as lying with his fathers, while it describes Yoav's death as death. Why the distinction? I think maybe I read that already. How come by David does it say that he was lying with his fathers, whereas by Yoav it says that he died? David sheniach ben Nemer Boshchiva, David who had a son, Shloima, so it says that he lied with his fathers. Yoav shaloi iniach ben, whereas Yoav who did not have a child, so then Never Bomisa, it says that he died. Yoav lo iniach ben. What do you mean that Yoav didn't have a son? V'oksiv mi bnei Yoav Oivadja ben Yechiel. Ho. That Yoav had a son. His name was Oivadja ben Yechiel. How could it be Oivadja ben Yechiel if his father's name was Yoav? Shouldn't it be Oivadja ben Yoav? I don't know. Ella David Sheniach ben Kamoso Nemer bo Shchiva Yoav Sheniach ben Kamoso Nemer bo Misa. David, whose son Shloima was like him, so it says that he lied with his fathers, whereas Yoav's son was not like him. What does Rashi? Does Rashbam say anything? I don't know. Maybe not. All right. How did they? I don't know. Alright. I guess like him, they're both kings and everything. So by Yoav it says that he died because he didn't have a son like him. Darsha Pinchas ben Choma. Pinchas ben Choma, Darshan. Kosha Anius b'soch beiso shel Adam Yosef mechamisha makis. That poverty in a person's house is more difficult than 50 smitings. Shenemar Chanuni Chanuni atem reoi kiyad Elokim nogobi. That Eov says to his friends, have mercy on me, have mercy on me, have pity on me, I guess, have pity on me, my friends, because the hand of God has struck me. V'ka'amri lechavre, and his friends respond, He shomer al tefen el oven ki al zeh b'chaytem yoni. Essentially they say to him, well, it's better than being poor, it's better than poverty. So we see that poverty is worse than being struck even 50 times. Darish Reb Pinchas bar Choma darshan kol sheyesh lo choyle b'soich beiso. If a person has an unwell person in his home, yelech etzel chacham, you should go to a wise person, vivakish al vrachamim, and the chacham will pray for him. Shenemar chamas melech malachei moves, that the anger of the king is angels of death. Whereas a wise person will, I don't know, I guess take care of the situation. Baruch Hashem. Okay, the Mishnah had said, Zeh HaKlal. Kol HaKodim Menachlo Yotzei Reicho Kodmin. Ve'av Kodmin L'cho Yotzei Reicho. That whoever comes first in inheritance, also their children inherit and take priority. And the father has priority over all of his offspring. Okay, let's see how this applies. So Rambam Bar Chama asked, Avia of the grandfather, Ve'achia of the uncle, to go to Avram v'Yishmael bin Esav Ezimim Kodim. You hear the kasha? Esav dies, and he has no brothers. We're just using Esav as a name. Esav dies, he has no brothers, he has no children. His father Yitzchak is gestorben. So Esav dies, he's got no children, he's got no brothers, he's got no fathers. So then who inherits Esav? Is it his grandfather, Avraham Avinu? Or is it his uncle Yishmael? So that's the Shaila. Again, Bar Chama asks, Ovia of the Ve'achia of, if it's right, Kigon Avram v'Yishmael b'nichse Esav, that if Esav dies, there's no Yitzchak, there's no Yaakov, he has no children. So then, who inherits him? Avram or Uncle Yishmael? Ezmeim Kodem, who gets priority? Amar Rava says, Rava Tashma, come in here. Ha'av Kodem l'choyotzei reichel. Well, the Mishnah says that a father always precedes his offspring. So Memele, Avram is going to inherit it, since he takes priority over his son Yishmael. Rabbi Bar Chama, when you ask the kasha, I mean, that seems like an obvious thing, right? It's a Mishnah, the Farish Mishnah. It says the father takes precedence. Well, because he was really, when he asked the question, his mind was really elsewhere. What does Rashi say? Charifoso, Shayatarud b'shel acheris. He's very busy. His mind was focused actually on under a kasha, on a different question, to the comment as we're about to see, the adifa meaning, which is better. It's a little more meat in the next question. Okay. But Ram Bacham asks, Avia of Avram, the grandfather, ve'echov, and his brother Yaakov. Kegoin, Avram ve'Yaakov b'nichsei Esav, Ezmein Kodem. Oh, so what if Esav dies? He has no children, he's got no father. So the shaila is, so who does he have left? His grandfather, Avram, and his brother Yaakov. Esav dies, he's got no children, he's got no father, he's got no uncles, he's got a grandfather, and he's got a brother. So who inherits him? So Rava says, Tashma, Av Kodem Choyotzei Reichel. Well, Rava says that, the Mishnah says that the father takes precedence over his offspring. So therefore Avraham Avinu would take precedence over Yaakov, who's his grandson. However, Rabbi Bar Chama, Yotzi Yireicho Shelo, V'lo Yotzi Yireicho Shel Beno. When we say that the father takes precedence over his children, means his immediate children, not the children of his children, not his grandchildren. Let's go weiter for a second. It'll make more sense in a second. This also makes sense, the Katani, that the Mishnah says, whoever would be the first, who would be first to inherit, so also his offspring are first to inherit. If Yitzchak was alive, Yitzchak Kodem, Yitzchak Yaakov Kodem Shmamino. Okay, that sounded a little complicated, but it really isn't that complicated, right? Because yes, the Mishnah said that the father always takes precedence over his children, and therefore in that respect, maybe you would think that Avraham should come before his grandson Yaakov. However, the Mishnah also says that whoever inherits, then not only does he inherit, but if he's not alive, his offspring will then inherit in his place before, if they're not alive, well then we move on to the next level or whatever. But before moving on to the next level, we first see if he has children. If he has children, those children take precedence. So therefore, when Esav dies, and now it's between Avram and his brother Yaakov, well, first we go up. Okay, so first we would check to see if Esav has children. No children. Okay. Well, then we go up to his father, Yitzchak. Is Yitzchak alive? No, he's not. Well, then we see if Yitzchak has children. Does he have children? Yes, he does. Yaakov. And therefore, because if Yitzchak was alive, Yitzchak would have taken, precedence, and Yitzchak would have inherited Esav. But Yitzchak isn't alive, so then we would look at his children before we would go up to the next level, to Avraham Avinu, and therefore Yaakov would be the inheritor, and not Avram Mamish Ogival. Peace.